Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast.
Welcome to Blue River Lounge podcast.
I swear, Dave, I've only had like 16 beers. I'm fine.
Yeah, I've had like none.
I could drive, I swear.
It's no fun November.
No fun November. Oh, you doing no fun November?
Yeah, day 5.
Day 5.
Yep.
Hey, it's a learning experience.
Oh, I've done it before, so it's easy.
Yeah, okay.
It's like I prep myself.
I'm going to do extra fun. Make up for you having no fun, okay?
That sounds great.
Extra fun November.
Extra fun November.
Yes. All fun November. All fun Vember.
All fun.
Maybe I took that a little too far. How you been, Dave?
Good.
It's been so long since I seen you.
It's the first day that it's like actually sort of autumn feeling today.
Yeah, no kidding. Just rain all dang day.
Yeah, all overcast and windy.
Yeah.
Leaves blowing everywhere.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of leaves in your yard, Dave? I don't remember if you had. I don't think you have any trees.
I don't have any trees, but I get all the neighbors' leaves.
Of course.
Because I have like little retaining walls and stuff that they just collect against.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Because there was one kid toy out there. I'm like, I need to go pick that up. And then today I looked out and it's just gone. I'm like, oh, the leaves took care of it for me.
Yeah. You ever just like mow up all the leaves and leave them?
Yeah, but we kind of had sort of not a lot of rain leading up to, so I haven't mowed in a while.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, maybe if it gets nice, I'll go out there and mulch them up.
I have 3 trees that produce very large leaves.
Yeah.
So fall is no fun for me. That's my no fun November.
Yeah.
Is just raking for like hours on end.
Yeah. When I was driving in, I saw a guy out there today, and I'm like, it's drizzling, the wind is blowing, and you're raking leaves.
You're
like,
raking up like twice the weight of leaves right now.
Yeah, and you're just like fighting a battle as you put them in a pile and they blow all over your yard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But some people are into that lawn care.
Oh, for sure. I wish I was. My lawn is so bad during the summer.
Yeah, I like to keep it manageable, but some people in my neighborhood, like it seems like every 3 days they're out there mowing.
Oh yeah, got to keep it that 2 1/4 inch, man.
Yeah, get the ruler out.
What? Oh, I had some other stuff I was going to talk to you about. How was your Samhain, your festive Samhain?
Samhain, it was good.
Yeah.
Trick or treating.
Yeah. Did you watch your final horror movie on Halloween?
Yes, I did.
What was it?
Possessor.
Possessor? Oh, that was one of Jason's, right?
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was good. It's trippy.
Oh, okay.
And I guess there was some body horror and stuff in it.
What's that mean?
Like at one point, they're like doing a thing where they're kind of showing how like this lady's subconscious is fighting against this other person's subconscious to control the body.
Okay.
But they represent it by like her taking his face and putting it on her face, and then him like trying to cut her face off. So it's like kind of gory, but like really like good effects.
Okay.
You know, like that kind of stuff.
When was that movie come out?
I think it was 2020.
2020.
It's a recent one, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll have to look that up. I am trying to be a little more open-minded to not only watching horror movies during October. I tend to, we do the podcasts, and it's kind of the spooky season, so I tend to get a little pigeonholed into watching horror movies almost only in October. So.
Oh, you need to branch out and watch them all the time?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Trying.
Yeah.
The day of recording today, Dave, do you know what holiday it is?
Guy Fawkes Day.
Guy Fawkes Day. You gonna watch V for Vendetta?
No.
Oh, okay. Do you like that movie?
Yeah.
You watched it and it was okay?
I watched it. It's all right. I get the premise, the idea of it, but it's kind of a little preachy.
Oh, we got some podcasts down here.
Yeah, we do.
They're so upset. They want to go outside, but they just sit there and look because it's a terrible day to be a cat outside.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is coming up, Dave.
Yes, a couple weeks.
So my new Thanksgiving holiday treat is going to be listening to Run for the Hills.
Run for the hills.
That's my favorite Thanksgiving song.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Run for your life.
I'm pulling a blank now on who that is.
It's Iron Maiden?
Iron Maiden, yes. I kept wanting to say Megadeth, but Iron Maiden, Run for the Hills. Listen to that on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And just like really embrace the the spirit of the holiday.
Pretty sure it's Iron Maiden because Judas Priest has similar sounding stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you like Judas Priest?
I couldn't pull a song out off the top of my head, but if I heard it, I'd be like, oh yeah, Judas Priest.
So along with Thanksgiving comes the most evil of all holidays, corporate Black Friday. How do you feel about that, Dave?
I do not participate.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think that's what everybody should do. Not participate.
Yeah. I think, though, there is Toyland at Farm and Fleet.
Yes.
And I think it would be neat to go to that one time. Just get up early and go in there and get all those door-busting deals.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's on Black Friday.
Probably not. But I remember, and I don't know if they still do it, getting that big catalog for the Toyland. And,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I necessarily got a lot of toys from there. And if I did, it was probably my mom went and bought them.
Yeah.
But they always had good stuff.
Yeah, and they usually have good deals, but if you go there late, you're just scraping the bottom.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The only time that I did Black Friday was accidentally as a teenager.
Oh, okay.
Where
You're just like, oh, I got to actually get some eggs. And you show up to a Walmart.
Well, no, I saved up money and to go buy a PlayStation.
Okay.
And I went to Best Buy and I got it, and the line was like all the way to the back. And I'm like, what? I'm like, oh no, it's Black Friday. So I had to wait in line forever. And it probably helped.
Which PlayStation was this?
One.
Oh, PlayStation 1? Dang.
Yeah. And it probably helped them out because I was waiting in line. And I'm like, oh, they got a deal for Tomb Raider 1 and Tomb Raider 2. Like, buy one, get one half off. So I bought those two. So
That's a good one.
yeah, they got a little impulse buy out of me.
Yeah.
But I had to wait in line for like an hour to check out. It
How
was
terrible.
It was horrible. That's why I'm like, I'm not doing that ever again.
At least not on purpose.
Right. And usually if you wait, you're still going to get the same deals as it gets closer to Christmas.
Yeah. You go out and about at all?
Just trick-or-treating. Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much. Yeah.
I don't know. Did we talk about Rocky Horror Picture Show last episode?
No, we didn't.
Me and Davey for the past 3 years?
Yeah, this was the third year.
Yeah, have been taking our old ladies out to Rocky Horror Picture Show live.
Yeah.
I highly suggest it for
It's
anybody.
Speakeasy.
The Speakeasy is where we go for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's always a great time. The first time I ever saw the show was a play as opposed to the movie.
Yeah.
And I think it really turned me on more to the movie. I don't know if I would have liked it as much if I hadn't seen it in play first.
Yeah, my mom actually, we watched it because she was a big Tim Curry fan.
Oh, okay.
And she'd always be like, oh, the time warp. But then, or like the meatloaf part.
Oh, yeah.
But then
my
usually
favorite part.
after that, we'd like wander away, which is probably a good thing because it gets kind of racy.
Yeah, for sure.
Or dicey.
Yeah, and we went to the 21 and up show.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say it was worse than the show we watched last year. Last year was wild.
Yeah. This year was just as good. It was just the callback. The people in the audience done a little bit better.
There was a little bit of an overkill on the callbacks. I got a callback.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yes, I felt really happy with myself when I did that. But it's good. I like that they do it. Some people know them.
Yeah.
Which I like having that, even if it's a plant.
Right. And I like the participation because it gets everybody into it.
Yeah. Was this the first time we did it with the bags?
Yeah, we actually got the bags this time to
my
throw
first,
the cards and stuff.
Yeah, my first time was with the bags.
Oh, okay.
And that was a lot of fun. So I'm glad we were able to do it this year, too.
Yeah. Like I said, the only part was the audience because there were parts when the cast members were like, let me say it. Like, stop saying all the lines.
Yeah. Well, and it sounded like there was a lot of people in the audience that were in other performances.
Yeah, like they did their own production of it or something.
Yeah, which is like maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah, I mean, come out and support other people that are putting on the play, but don't talk over them.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
So being out and about, I haven't gone there yet, but tonight is a date night with the wife as we're recording. She wants to go to this joint called Cavort.
Cavort.
If you've ever heard of it.
Not sure.
Supposed to be, from what my wife says, she's been there, supposed to be almost a tiki bar. Okay. But from the pictures I've seen, like, fucking my basement's a better tiki bar than this joint.
Yeah.
But I've put a lot of work into it. And it seems maybe a little bit more mainstream, but it's supposed to have some good cocktails and some decent food. So I'm pretty excited to go to Cavort in Davenport, downtown Davenport. Shout out to Abernathy's. This is their 9-year anniversary. It's actually on the 9th.
Yeah.
We're recording it a little before then. But they are having their 9-year anniversary right now. Congratulations, ladies.
Congratulations. Are they doing anything for it?
They're doing like 25% off, and they got like some snacks and stuff. And they hid around the store a couple of free items.
Yeah.
So if you take it up to the register, it will ring up as free, I think.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty neat idea.
Was it their 7th that they did all the stickers? Or was that their 6th?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish they would do that again. Yeah. There's a lot of good stickers. Plus, one of my favorite Abernathy shirts, which was, it was designed after is it like Pantera or...
Once again, it's Iron Maiden.
Oh, it's another Iron Maiden.
Yeah. The Eddie, the Creeper,
yeah,
or something like that, or
yeah,
I don't know the guy's name.
On the album cover, it's Eddie holding the puppet of the devil.
Maybe.
I think that's the actual album cover. And then they had one where it was like a cool-looking Eddie lady holding a puppet that kind of looked like, I think it was a puppet of the Twins logo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Iron Maiden. Gotta stick that into my brain.
Yeah.
I think that's just about all I had. Oh, another Out and About, Dave.
You got another one?
Yeah. Blue. Another Out and About, Dave.
Another one?
Blue Spruce Bakery.
Blue Spruce?
They used to be just like a pop-up bakery. Now I think they're like a general store. They maybe even go by a haberdashery.
Haberdashery.
Yeah.
Good word.
Yeah, right. But I went in there, and they had a bunch of like deli stuff and some baked goods and a bunch of like small time drinks and hot sauces and this and that, and they had some produce and stuff.
Yeah.
It was just like a teeny tiny general store.
Yeah.
I suggest going in there. It was just really neat.
Is that a Moline?
Davenport again.
Another Davenport.
All the Davenport stuff.
All right.
That I think is it.
All right. Yeah, I just think with everything like leading up to Halloween and then a couple of birthdays and stuff, we just haven't been like out and about too much.
Problem. You're only ruining the podcast.
Oh, well, no, I mean, yeah.
Luckily I'm going out and about for both of us.
Yeah. Good job.
You want to get into the meat and potatoes of this one?
The potatoes with meat? Sure.
So we're doing Spies.
Yes.
I think this was another coworker Lee suggestion.
Possibly. Yeah, it was definitely a suggestion.
Yes. So I believe it was her, and I thank her for the next another suggestion.
Yeah.
We may have one more from her, but I can't remember. This is the third one we've done.
Yeah, it's just how the dice have rolled.
Yeah. Shaken up. The dice favor Lee. And also suggestions. If you got any suggestions for podcasts, hit us up.
Yeah, on Facebook.
Check out Facebook.
Blue Ribbon Lounge Podcast. Or you can message us there, or can you? I don't know. Does that work?
You
that
might
way?
just have to find our Facebooks. But you can get a hold of us anyway through the website.
Yes, blueribbonlounge.com.
Yeah, blueribbonlounge.com.
Or you can just email us at blueribbonloungemoline@gmail.com.
gmail.com. We got all the stuff out there. So Spies.
Yes.
I got some off-topic stuff.
You got off-topic stuff?
Yeah. Well, it's like on topic, but kind of veers off. You want me to get that? Can I get that out of the way first?
Is it like, yeah, baby?
No, but that would be a good one.
Austin Powers.
One of my favorite things growing up was Mad Magazine. You ever check out a Mad Magazine?
Yeah.
Spy vs. Spy.
Yeah.
That was like, I was obsessed with that for probably a full year, if not
more. One Christmas, I sent a bunch of subscriptions to people.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
So I looked that up, and there was like nothing I could find really about it. It did debut in Mad Magazine number 60 on January 1961. It was originally created by Cuban art cartoonist Antonio Prohias. Prohias?
Proyas.
It was drawn by some other artists over the time, and most recently drawn by Peter Cooper, and he's been drawing it since 1996. And that was really all I found out about that. I was hoping there was maybe some interesting facts of why they started it or something like that. But I did learn some interesting Mad Magazine facts. They have never had an advertisement.
Yeah.
And they've never like sold out to be licensed for toys or anything like that.
Yeah.
They've never done any reader surveys.
Yeah.
So that they couldn't accidentally pander to
what they want.
A specific audience, yeah. And then at one point, there was a subscriber from Haiti.
Yeah.
It was the only subscriber in Haiti, and he canceled his subscription. So, like, the main guy at Mad Magazine flew the entire crew out to Haiti to beg him to resubscribe.
Yeah.
And he did.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I just thought those were some pretty interesting, like, small-time facts about the magazine.
Yeah, because I think in the magazine, if there is an advertisement, it's for, like, their collections.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these comics by this certain artist.
Yeah.
Like, and they didn't have toys, but they did have a Spy vs. Spy video game.
They had a couple of those, I think.
Well, for different platforms, yeah.
And yeah, so I always liked the Spy vs. Spy, and there was a skateboard company, World Industries,
Yeah.
that had like a flame guy, and a water drop guy, and so I was kind of really into those skateboards because of Spy vs. Spy,
Yeah.
because they kind of had this similar connection to each
Like
other.
the kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get that out of the way.
Oh, okay.
All right, now you go.
Now I go. Well, when I was looking at it, it started with the 4th century BCE.
Whoa.
With Sun Tzu.
Oh.
And he
was
wrote
the guy that wrote the book?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, you keep going.
The Art of War.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in it, he advised, one who knows the enemy and knows himself will not be endangered in 100 engagements. And in it, he also identifies like different spy roles. So there's the role of the secret informant, which is someone who can get you copies of your enemy's like secrets, pretty much.
That's what I normally think of a spy, I think.
Yeah. The penetration agent. One who has access to like enemies' commanders, and then the disinformation agent, who feeds a mix of true and false details to confuse the enemy. Yeah,
That's pretty interesting. I wouldn't have thought about spies so far back.
yeah. Well, he also said that counterintelligence, double agents, and psychological warfare are a big part of war.
Yeah.
And at the same time, in India, this guy, Chankaya, wrote the Arthashastra, which is a textbook of statecraft and political economy. And in it, he provides a detailed account of intelligence collection, processing, consumption, and covert operations as indispensable means for maintaining and expanding the security and power of the state. So, like, gathering information and using it, and then covertly finding out what the other guys are doing.
Yeah, for sure. And when I think of that far back, I kind of think of like two people that don't even look like each other fighting. Like a white guy from, the European area,
Yeah.
fighting, like African people or something.
Yeah.
But I guess, for a long time and still today, there's tribes within smaller areas fighting, and spies can come in all different sizes. It's not just, like a Cold War type spy.
Yeah, because the most ancient accounts is Egypt,
Okay.
and
I'm listening.
they started using spies. Well, the pharaohs would use spies to see like finding out who was disloyal or who might want to stab them in the back,
Yeah.
like in their own like parliament or
Yeah,
like
you
government
You have
kind
like
of
a trusted
situation.
guy that goes to like a meeting that the pharaoh's not at and is like, "Oh, this pharaoh guy, am I right?"
Yeah,
And then as soon as somebody's like, "You're right," and fucking kill that guy.
right. He goes back to the pharaoh and it's like, hey, this guy's saying that you're a piece of poop.
A piece of poop.
Yeah, and they'd also use them to like infiltrate tribes so they could conquer them and enslave them.
Okay.
And it wasn't until the rise of the Greek and Roman empires that they started using spies like against other nations, I guess, because mostly in the beginning it was just insider information kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and Egypt also started a lot of the staples of spy because back in the day it was all written, like everything was written word. So they pretty much invented codes,
Oh,
disguised writing, trick inks, like disappearing
Ooh.
inks and stuff.
that's cool.
And
That's that far back.
yeah, because I think if you take wax
Mm.
and you write with it, you can't see it. But if you like squeeze lemon on it, it'll like turn the paper a different color, and you can see what's written.
Yeah. Well, you can also do that. You ever do that with like lemon juice?
Do you write? It's something with lemons.
You write the lemon juice onto the page, and then if you like put it over a light bulb or like a candle, and
yeah.
it kind of burns the lemon juice, I think, first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I used to do that as a kid.
Yeah, and they'd also had hidden compartments in clothes for like messages and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And they were also the first to develop toxins and poisons to carry out assassinations and acts of sabotage.
Damn.
Yeah.
They were really putting the game on.
Yeah. Well, when you were one of the biggest world powers back then, and all of a sudden these white people are starting to, challenge you,
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense.
you got to use your sneakiness.
Sneak.
Yeah, it's very sneaky.
Well, I have a little bit of an older one, too. Not quite that old, but this is about Agent 355, if you'd heard of them.
No, is that Get Smart?
Get smart.
Agent 355.
This was a female agent that worked for the Americans during the Revolutionary War.
Oh.
So there was a spy ring in New York and Connecticut between 1778 and 1780. It was called the Culper Spy Ring, and that was headed by a man called Benjamin Talbot, and that was Washington's intelligence chief.
I was saying that kind of sounded familiar.
Yeah, there's a couple of names in here that did sound familiar. So as the Culper Spy Ring grew, they used inventions such as like invisible ink and code names. So maybe that wasn't so much an invention as something people have been using for a long time.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of that type of information or technology kind of comes in waves. Like once you get to be a huge army, maybe you're not thinking about using your sneakiness. Like you were talking about the Romans, maybe they weren't using that kind of stuff until they were getting challenged.
Yeah.
So when you were as big as Great Britain, the sun never sets on the British Empire.
Yeah.
Maybe you weren't thinking about that kind of low-level attacks. There's never been a documented person who was Agent 355, but most of the information she had done was they think she was a woman of high status that lived with a British sympathizing family.
Yeah.
So what she would do was she would go to these big balls or whatever and parties and have close quarter conversations or be near these close quarter conversations with British generals and sergeants. And at the time, women couldn't vote. Women were viewed as property. So the men wouldn't think that they were capable of understanding, military strategy or even understanding that they could repeat the information to somebody that they didn't want them to know.
Right.
So she kind of figured this out. And as she was at these balls that maybe she didn't even want to be at because she was an American sympathizer, but she would take the information that these generals were passing on to each other. I'll see you in a week. I know you're going out to Pennsylvania to fight over there. Oh, they're going to Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go tell this Culper spy ring this information so that the Americans can be ready. And they would often create, ambushes and things like that.
Right. Well, that kind of makes sense because especially if she's at like a ball or something, and if you think you're amongst friends, you have a couple drinks. Mm-hmm. It's that whole loose lips sink ships kind of thing.
Yeah. So one of the main people that she would gather information from was John Andre, John Andre was like a high-level person in the British Army.
Yeah,
I think he was maybe a military strategist or something.
Yeah.
And he had given up the fact that there was a traitor within the rebels, a high-level traitor.
Yeah.
So she found out that Benedict Arnold, who's like, it's like a well-known name.
Yeah.
But maybe a name that you don't think about all the time or know why you know about it.
Yeah.
So Benedict Arnold was a high-level traitor. And as this information was going through the Culper ring, he found out about it, and he escaped. But they did capture and execute this British general, John Andre. So after having that happen and Benedict Arnold escaping, it's said that this Agent 355 was captured because she was, deep behind enemy lines.
Yeah.
And she was said to be aboard the HMS Jersey, which was a prison ship at the time.
Yeah.
Just off the coast of New York. And that's kind of where the information ends. So the only information we really have is that she was kind of a high-level agent, and it was a woman, and she was kind of behind enemy lines gathering information from these generals.
Yeah, and that kind of ties into one of the ones I have is Benedict Arnold.
Oh.
Yeah, and he was more of a traitor than a spy, but he played pivotal roles in the Battle of Burmese Heights and the defense of central New York and Valcour Island, where he was the command of American troops or colonial troops and actually helped sway the tide of these battles. But he was getting mad because other people with connections were getting promoted faster than him.
Oh.
So he was kind of getting overlooked. And when he finally got appointed commander of West Point, he secretly started talking to that Major John Andre.
Oh.
Yeah, and was like, hey, if you give me a bunch of money and a command in the British Army, I'll give you West Point.
Okay.
And then, so with your lady, Agent 355, finding out when Andre was trying to cross lines to get information either to Benedict or from Benedict, he was caught.
Yeah.
And then Benedict heard about it and fled to the British lines.
Okay.
And at that time, the Patriots morale was kind of sagging because the Revolutionary War was kind of going slower than they expected. But then about hearing about this traitor and this butthead, they're like, fuck that guy. Let's fucking fight. We're not traitors. We're not like Benedict Arnold. We're no Benedict Arnold.
Yeah.
And So he had actually like re-energized him, and then Benedict went to serve the British, and at one point he helped capture Richmond, Virginia.
Oh.
Yeah, and then after the war, he lived in London until he died at 60 of gout and other health conditions.
Mm-hmm.
And Benjamin Franklin wrote about Benedict Arnold. Judas sold only one man, Arnold, 3 million.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So the way I found about this Agent 355 was from Audible.
Oh, yeah?
And I think it was just, if you have a subscription, I think it was just a free download, and it was a book called Agent 355 by Marie Benedict. And it was kind of a dramatization of the story, since they didn't have too much information to go by.
Yeah.
But it was a really good listen, as opposed to a read. But,
okay.
But it was a good story, with all the excitement of a spy.
Yes, intrigue and espionage.
Yeah, yeah, those are good words.
I have one. Have you heard of Madame Butterfly?
Oh, no.
They actually made a play about it, but it was this Chinese opera singer
Okay.
who seduced a high guy in the French. Let me find it here. Is a Chinese opera singer, Shei Pei Pu.
Shei Pei Pu.
Yeah, or Shi Pei Pu. But she met a French embassy clerk, Bernard Bourg-Scott, in Beijing in 1964 while teaching Chinese to diplomatic families. And this Chinese opera singer was a dude,
Okay.
but convinced Bernard that he was a woman.
Oh.
Yeah, and they started having an affair, which continued for 20 years.
Whoa.
And
That's a long time to convince somebody you're a woman.
I know. And he even like faked a pregnancy.
What?
Yeah. And bought a son from a Chinese doctor to like
When was this?
this is 1980s.
What?
Yeah. And then she joined in Paris, and she was accepted by the French community because like of his performances
Yeah.
as a woman, like opera performances.
Oh.
And then in
So not only was he tricking this one guy,
yeah,
but like everybody.
right, and faked a pregnancy. But yeah, he was a embassy clerk, and through Shea, this guy turned over at least 150 French documents that she then turned over to the Chinese government.
Yeah.
And in 1983, he was finally caught and sentenced to 6 years in prison. But once they went through the documents, they were just kind of low-level bullshit.
Okay.
So he ended only doing 11 months because he was a clerk. So it was
Yeah.
probably really like, yeah, here's my gas mileage for that
Yeah.
trip I took to Berlin.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And so they only got 11 months and then was what they call expedited or whatever, sent back to China.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they actually ended up making a play out of it.
Oh,
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but
that sounds interesting.
it does sound
I'll have to see
interesting.
if it's maybe on YouTube or something.
Yeah, it's like M Butterfly or Madam Butterfly.
Okay. So who do you think is the most famous spy?
I know this one.
Oh, okay. You got
James
this one?
Bond.
Yes. So I've never thought about it until we just got this prompt, but I was wondering if there was any sort of truth or inspiration behind James Bond, and it was Dusko Papov.
Dusko Papov.
Yeah. Is this something you looked up too, or
No.
is it something you had already known?
No.
Oh, okay. So born July 10th, 1912, Dusko Papov grew up in a wealthy Serbian family, and his family wanted him to go to like all the best colleges and stuff. He went to school in Britain and France and Germany. He was fluent in Italian, German, and French. He was studying for his PhD in Germany when he met a man by the name of Johann Johnny Jebsen.
Jebsen.
Johann Johnny Jebsen.
Johann Johnny.
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 It was like a nickname, Johnny.
Oh, okay.
And he was a German man from Hamburg, Germany. As they were both going to school, was when the Nazis started taking over Germany and putting all these rules where you can't go to Jewish restaurants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they started speaking out against it and going against all the Nazi rules and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And at one point, Popov gets arrested in Germany, and his dad has to use like his influences to get him out of jail, and they send him back to his family's estate or whatever.
In Serbia?
It wasn't in Serbia. It was in, I guess I don't know where Serbia is, but it was in like an Eastern European country.
Okay.
Not like a Poland.
Right. Not like because I think Serbia is like an Eastern Bloc of the the Soviet Union.
Oh, okay.
So it'd be on the border between like Europe and Soviet Union.
Yeah, and they were a Serbian family, but they weren't in Serbia.
Okay.
It was a different country. So after that, which was lucky, he got kicked out of Germany because that was right before World War II started.
Yeah.
He ends up meeting back up with Johnny Jebsen, and Jebsen suggests that they become double agents between the Nazis and England. So Popov ended up going to the British government and offered his services, where he did join MI6, which is where James Bond works. So he ends up getting a code name in each Germany and Britain. His code name for Britain was Tricycle, kind of lame.
Yeah.
And then his code name for the Germans is Ivan, which is a pretty badass name.
Yeah.
He used a bunch of tools, like they taught him how to break and enter efficiently so he could sneak into rooms and get information. Also invisible ink. So it's just like invisible ink for the end of time, man.
Yeah.
It's like apparently a really good spy tool.
Yeah. Everybody bust out your black lights and see if there's invisible ink around your room.
Yeah. Check your bedrooms.
Yes.
So he would learn the classified information, and he would give misinformation to the Germans. His cover was he was from Yugoslavia.
Okay.
That's where it was written in my notes. So his cover for Germany was being an international businessman for a trading company between Yugoslavia and England. One story I heard was he had to meet a informant, and so to learn the time that he was going to meet this person, he went to a casino.
Yeah.
And went to a roulette table where he was meeting like a middleman.
Yeah.
I believe it was a woman, actually. And his confidant played 3 numbers that ended up being the date and time of Popov's meeting. I thought that was like super spy.
That's pretty spy.
Yeah, super cool. And Britain and Popov ended up coming up with one main portion of his secret agency was the Midas Plan.
Yeah.
Where where the Germans were having difficulty paying their agents in Britain.
Yeah.
And then Popov and an associate came up with the idea to be middlemen and pass the money off to from the Germans to the agents, where he was, taking money off the top and giving it to the British government.
Yeah.
And so he was essentially funding the whole MI5 program, and I'm not sure what the difference between MI5 and MI6 is.
Right.
But he ended up draining the German military for $85,000.
Damn.
And so in today's dollars, that's like over $2 million.
Damn.
So I thought that was super cool.
That's cool.
Casino Royale, the first James Bond novel,
Yeah.
was based off this Midas plan.
Yeah.
And one of the people, so the guy who wrote it was Ian Flemings.
Yeah, sir.
Sir Ian Flemings?
Yes.
Oh, neat. He wrote Casino Royale in 1953, and he based it on a experience he had with Papov, where Flemings was in this casino to make sure that Dusko Papov made a drop of a ton of money, $40,000 or something like that. I don't know.
Jeez.
And Flemings was there to just kind of make sure everything went according to plan. And
right.
Papov, because Papov was a double agent, you almost never know what side they're really working for.
Yeah.
And Papov kind of notices a table where there's a wealthy businessman playing, and the businessman is talking up a huge game, and he says something to the effect of, "I'll match any bet that anybody puts down on this table right now."
Oh.
He's probably surrounded by a bunch of women and cocktail waitresses, and he's got fucking rum and coke in his hand, or maybe old fashioned. That sounds cooler for the situation.
Or a martini.
Oh, shaken, not stirred.
Exactly.
And so Papov notices this guy, and he puts all the German money onto this table to bet.
Yeah. Was it Baccarat?
Yes, Baccarat.
Yeah.
I've never played it, but
I had not either, but I think that's in Casino Royale.
Okay, yeah. It was Baccarat. So Papov calls the guy's bluff, and the guy fucking chickens out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit more on Papov. At one point, he got information from the Germans about the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
So he went to America and talked to the head of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover.
Yeah.
And with him being a double agent, Hoover didn't believe him and wouldn't talk to him or hear him out at all.
Yeah.
And obviously his information was correct.
Yeah.
And, yeah, right.
He's like, keep that to myself.
And also working with the Allies were planning D-Day, and Papov was giving a bunch of misinformation from England to the Germans.
Yeah.
And at the same time, England was building a bunch of fake artillery and tanks and airplanes, probably just shells or something, so that if the German airplanes flew overhead that they would see it. And they put them all in a bunch of wrong places.
Yeah.
So Germany would think that they were attacking to one direction. And so they ended up, when they attacked on D-Day, the plan worked, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Though a lot. Obviously did a lot.
Yeah.
There was a couple of biographies on YouTube that I'll try to put into the Facebook group about Papov.
Yeah.
And they were, I don't know, it was just super cool.
Sounds like a super cool
Yeah.
guy. The last guy I have is a super not cool guy.
Oh, no.
Aldrich Ames, who was the most successful Soviet double agent of the Cold War. He worked for the CIA and was in charge of counterintelligence operations, pretty much uncovering Soviet spies and potential recruitment of CIA agents. But really, he was using his position in the CIA to provide the Soviet Union with names of CIA agents or U.S. agents in the Soviet Union.
Oh, what a bummer.
Yeah. And between 1991 and 1994, before his arrest, at least 10 CIA agents were executed as a result of Ames, and the names of every U.S. agent that were operating in the Soviet Union were leaked or uncovered. Wow. And I think there's been movies where they're that one secret file that they're all fighting to get because it has all the names of the people, the agents. Well, that actually happened, and Soviet Union actually got a hold of that
Oh,
and
wow.
exposed a lot of agents operating in the Soviet Union. And at the time, Ames was the highest paid spy by the Soviet Union, making $2.7 million.
Damn.
Yeah, but yeah, he got arrested. I'm pretty sure he got killed.
Yeah. If not outright, then.
Yeah, someone, you know, he got Epsteined.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Epstein didn't kill himself.
No, he didn't. And then I have a bunch of acronyms,
Oh, okay.
which a lot of people will know. I think you'll know. You can play along at home. But FBI,
Federal Bureau of Investigation,
yeah.
or female body inspector. You ever
Oh.
seen those shirts?
Yeah.
Those are kind of funny.
And they conduct surveillance, gather and analyze data, monitor online activities, collect evidence, and carry out arrests.
Okay.
And the CIA,
Central. I don't know.
intelligence agency.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they collect, evaluate, and disseminate vital information on economics, military, political, scientific, and other developments abroad to safeguard national security.
Okay.
And then there's the NSA.
NSA, National Security Association.
Agency.
Damn it.
Yeah. And they protect national communication systems,
Okay.
their integrity, and to collect and process information.
They're like the IT of spies.
Yeah, they pretty much look, they're the people when you're like, oh, Big Brother's watching you. The NSA is the Big Brother.
It's just like a fat guy in an NSA jacket,
Yeah.
eating a sandwich and listening to your phone calls.
Or it's a blonde dude that leaks a bunch of stuff to WikiLeaks and then runs off to Russia.
Ooh, ouch.
Snowden. DIA.
DIA, Department of Internal Affairs.
Well, it's close,
Yeah.
but it's the Defense Intelligence Agency.
Agency. Why do I keep saying other words for A?
Yeah, but they produce, analyze, and disseminate military intelligence information to for combat and non-combat military uses.
Okay.
And then this one, I don't think I've ever heard them called DHS,
Okay.
but
DHS, Department of Homeland Security.
yeah,
Yes. I got one when you're done.
okay. But these guys are bullshit because, well, it started after 9/11 and they were formed, and pretty much their thing is counterterrorism, cybersecurity, aviation security, port security, maritime security, administration and enforcement of our immigration laws, protection of our national leaders, protection of critical infrastructure, cybersecurity, which is on there again, detection of and protection against chemical, biological, and nuclear threats to the homeland, and response to disasters.
So they're the ones that are always fucking us up.
Yeah, they everything. So if they're like something, they can. It's the blanket thing.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Katrina, something, and they're like, oh, well, the Department of Homeland Security can look into that, or
Yeah. And they're like TSA and
yeah, all that
Yeah.
shit.
I'm pretty sure I watched, like, I don't know if it was an episode or something or a documentary
Documentary.
like on the internet or something about like how bad the Department of Homeland Security is
Yeah,
doing anything.
and they have a lot of overreach.
Yeah.
Like-
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I got one for you, Dave. MIB.
Men in Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Department of Alien Affairs.
Yes. Which what was
Will Smith.
Will Smith? Yes. Well, I was trying to think of. Well, we got the couple of Alien episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything from them. But
Well,
like,
we did the one just about like abductions, and then we did the one about Hopkinsville,
yes.
and then we did one just about aliens in general.
Yes. Like a couple of alien stories.
A couple of alien stories.
Was that it? Crazy aliens? Something like that?
Crazy Rich Aliens.
Crazy rich aliens.
I don't know, but if we do like 2 more Alien ones, then we'll get probably knocking on the door.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's just a matter of time before we hit something a little too close to home.
right. When I was doing research for this, I'm like, I just Googled all the intelligence agencies. I'm probably on a list now.
Oh,
The
Dave,
NSA definitely has me flagged.
You've been on a list, Dave.
Yes.
Despite your tries.
Yeah, as much as I try.
I got a little nostalgic. Do you ever have one of those like spy kits when you were a kid?
Yeah.
I had like a headphones that went to like a satellite dish looking thing to where you could listen to super far conversations.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of stuff on Amazon that's like listening device that you put on a wall or a door and you can hear the other side of it.
Ooh.
And like shout out to the horror movie episode.
Yeah.
But the first like short story in VHS involves like spy camera in your glasses.
Yeah.
And you can buy those. It's just really weird the stuff you can buy off the internet now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Probably a bunch of invisible inks.
Yeah. And listening stuff.
Yeah.
They have infomercials for that where it's kind of like a hearing aid, but then like you can hear the TV or like birds. It's supposed to be for like nature and stuff, but I could totally see like putting it in and then listening to some secret conversations.
And then like a super loud truck drives by or a dog
Yeah.
barks at you and you're like, ah!
Exactly. One year we did buy one of the kids night vision goggles,
Oh, I've had some of those.
but then when it came, when you push the button, just a flashlight popped up. Like,
I got some pretty good night vision goggles, and it was just like, so if you ever look at your TV remote when you change channels,
yeah,
it's got that little light bulb in there,
yeah,
and that's an LED, like a ultraviolet LED or something.
yeah, or like infrared,
Yeah.
something like that.
And it's generally probably infrared. It's generally like the same stuff they use in security cameras.
Yeah,
So you can't see it by the naked eye, but digital cameras can pick it up. So it was like one side was a digital camera and the other side was like a flashlight of these infrared LEDs.
okay,
And on the inside was a TV screen.
yeah,
And so it was like if you hold your phone up to a TV remote
yeah,
and you press a button, you can see it light up.
okay,
So it was like shining a flashlight of light that people can't see.
yeah.
So it was pretty high
Well, that's
quality.
interesting.
Yeah.
Because the only ones that I've ever done is where it looks all green because it just amplifies whatever light is there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And this one, I pretty much just used it to like creep around in my attic a little bit. It was
Yeah.
super dark in there, and I didn't feel like carrying a flashlight.
Yeah, that's
And
kind of
also-
neat.
Yeah. Also, I wanted night vision goggles at one point in my 20s,
Right.
and I had a decent job, so I could afford like $120 pair of them.
Yeah.
Those are the
Pretty
things I've
snazzy.
bought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think I had like a fingerprinting kit, but I could
Oh.
never really get it to work.
Yeah. Not to
Yeah.
say I've been fingerprinted lately, but they do it all digitally now.
Oh, really?
Well, I guess I've been fingerprinted for a job where I have to work with explosives,
Yeah.
and they do it all digitally now.
Yeah. I don't know if it was digital last time I got it, but it was like, it wasn't really ink, but they do still like rub your like they roll
Yeah.
your finger on it. Maybe it was digital,
I bet
but I think they still like pressed it on something else.
Mm.
Because I saw the wipe, but it wasn't like the black like
Yeah.
fingerprint kind of thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, because anytime you're
in the
fingerprinted,
system.
make sure you wiggle a bunch.
Yeah. That was really all I had.
Yeah, that's kind of all I had too.
It was pretty interesting. So I had read that Agent 355 story
Yeah.
or listened to it quite a while ago. So I'm glad I was able to share some of that. And I went back and listened to it, and it's still a pretty good story.
Yeah, it
so.
sounds pretty good.
And then the James Bond thing, I don't know why I never looked that up before, because it seems like something that would have caught my fancy.
Yeah, like when you're reading it, I feel like I've seen a movie that was called something, but then it was like the tagline was like the man that James Bond's based on, or something like that.
I bet.
Yeah.
He did write a book like Into the Lion's Mouth or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but if it's in one of those documentaries, I'll try to put up on the page.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm not really big into spy movies. I think the last one that wasn't too bad was Salt, I think.
Never seen it.
With Angelina Jolie.
Oh.
Or, yeah, and then there was Atomic Blonde, but some of that espionage stuff is just dry.
Mm-hmm. I liked, what's the one with the short guy? Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
I always, whenever I eat a stick of gum, I think of that movie and how they had like double color stick of gum and you chew it a little bit and then
Turn it explosives or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
I always think of that whenever I chew a stick of gum. And then James Bond isn't bad. I was always a big fan of Pierce Brosnan,
Yeah.
just because he was like my James Bond for when I was growing up. Plus, GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64,
Oh, yes.
fucking best game ever.
For sure. I don't know. Sean Connery's James Bond weren't too bad. I like the more like goofy action ones as opposed to like the new ones that were like, oh my god, yeah, I get
Just
it.
parkour for 45 minutes.
And then it's like this guy's doing this thing, but he's a double cross of this guy. But wait, no, actually, he was wearing the face of this guy. I'm like, I don't have time to figure all this out.
Yeah.
I like movies where you can kind of turn your brain off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching a movie like that today. It was Uncharted,
Yeah.
based on a video game
Right.
that I never played, but always like the covers always looked pretty good.
Yeah.
And it had the kid who plays Spider-Man, and
Right.
Mark Wahlberg,
Yeah.
and it wasn't too bad. I was just like working around the house while it was playing, so I'd catch 5-10 minutes here and there.
Yeah.
But it was an alright movie.
I think a lot of the complaints with that was the casting,
Yeah.
because at least with like Tomb Raider,
Oh,
like,
and it had like Antonio Banderas.
oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think if you play the game and then you look at the movie, like they're nothing. They don't look anything alike. And
Yeah, I kind of thought in Uncharted there was a part. I thought I saw like a dinosaur in it or something, but maybe that was a different game.
Tomb Raider had dinosaurs in it.
Oh.
But at least in the movie, like Angelina Jolie looked like Laura Croft.
Mhm.
And when I first saw the first movie, I'm like, unless they got like a completely new person, that was like the best fit.
Yeah.
And with the Uncharted, a lot of people were saying that if they had Mark Wahlberg, he should have been the main guy instead of the old guy,
Yeah.
because it just didn't fit. And him and Tom Holland
Yeah.
ended up kind of interchangeable. Like it could have been either one,
Yeah.
as that part.
Hmm. And I think they probably cast Tom Holland because he's super hot right now with all the Spider-Man
coming off
stuff.
Spider-Man and everything.
Although, shout out to our 1-year episode where we did Hot Ones. His Hot Ones is pretty good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I feel like there's a huge flux of British actors doing American roles.
yeah,
And their English is great.
yeah. Like Rick Grimes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The first
for
time I heard him in an interview, I'm like, wait, what?
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Tom Holland is, I think, British. And
Yeah.
there's one other girl from The Walking Dead, Maggie from The Walking Dead. I don't know her name,
Yeah.
but I think she's British too.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. That's it for me.
That's all I got.
Well, thanks for listening, folks. And remember, if you got a podcast idea, we're never not looking for new ideas.
Right.
It's always my favorite to get suggestions from other people, just because it's obviously not something we think of.
Yeah.
And thanks for listening. Hope you did enjoy your Halloween.
Yes.
Hopefully,
You're enjoying your November,
yes. And,
whether you're having fun or not.
right.
Yes.
You can have fun in other ways.
Yeah.
Like listening to the pod.
Yeah, and eating low pies.
Oh, low pies.
Yeah.
Drinking wake beers. Tell them the Blue Ribbon Lounge sent you.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have a good one and be good to yourselves.
Yes, and in the famous last words of Jack Daniel, one more drink, please.
See ya.
See ya. And
Oh, cats, podcat, you're ruining everything.
Yeah.
Pause for technical catacombs
Categories.
difficulties.